just so cool to me having the Chaser next to the Porsche. Today is the first day that we are finally going to start modding the Porsche. We're heading over to Matt Mormon's place. It's about an hour drive and I'm running late as usual, but good thing is we have a tool to make up time, the Porsche. I keep forgetting and trying to hype stuff up, like forgetting that you guys know exactly what I'm doing in the thumbnail, or sorry, from the title. So today, we're doing the exhaust on the Porsche. Not that I haven't been enjoying this car, but this thing is gonna be 10 times more fun to drive when it's screaming. Because right now it's quiet. I can't appreciate the note, you know? It's gonna be fun. It still sounds good though, I will say. The car comes factory with the titanium exhaust. It doesn't sound too bad. For stock exhaust, not bad. It screams, it just doesn't have much throat to it. I'm not complaining at all, because like this car is obviously a purpose-built exotic race car. But it's just comical to me that the Stanced Out Slam Chaser has a nicer, more comfortable ride than a very, very expensive Porsche. And that's just funny to me. But I enjoy driving this thing. It's just funny. I'm like bouncing the seat and stuff. But the Chaser's just like, it's like a plush dream, you know what I'm saying? It's funny, man. I think I found the right place. This is my first time ever at the Obsessed Garage headquarters. How fancy. They look so cool together, Matt. All right, so I asked Matt which way to come here. There's a couple different routes to take, like one's kind of highway and one's little back roads. I swear you took me through nothing but swamp villages so my car would get covered in bugs.
Well, we'll wash it. That's why we got a dedicated walk.
This is all part of your plan, huh? All right, let's get a walk around.
First, my new corner office. There's a lot of work went into this place, that's for darn sure. Yeah, that's pretty cool. I'm pretty pumped. I was in here cleaning it up a little bit before he came, just because I'd actually dumped a bunch of fluid on the ground, so I had to pull the Swiss tracks up. And yeah, this place is pretty cool. So, hundreds and hundreds of hours of work. But I built my own subwoofer too, check that out.
How'd you build it?
Wood.
Why didn't you just buy one?
Yeah, that would have been smarter.
Came out nice.
Yeah, it's like $800 to do it that way, where that stuff would probably cost, you know, $3 or $4 grand to buy.
I know, you made me buy one.
Yeah, so I wanted to see what it would do. Yeah. So.
Dang, look at this.
Yeah, polishers. This is from a company called KXK, and that buddies of mine that make these racks, and so we, you know, made them so I can keep all my polishers out.
Why so many? Do you just have a different pad per polisher?
Yeah, well, 3-inch. I use this for finishing. This is a rotary polisher. These are pneumatics for compressed air. This is called forced rotation. And then these are your normal random orbital. So this is old one, new one, old one, new one, and then now there's a new one. So I got to put 2 more racks, I think.
You're crazy.
I like full collections.
So this is, I need to get on Matt's level because in his cabinets he actually has sonic tools.
There's a little bit of grease on one of these.
My drawers are just all empty.
Yeah, it's 1/4 inch.
Jeez.
SAE. 3/4.
This is crazy.
3/8 SAE. I want to get it someday where it's blue. The blue inserts from Obsessed Garage. Yeah. Although, whatever.
So crazy.
Somebody's thinking I don't even know what they are. I don't even know what M14 is.
M14?
Yeah, what is that stuff?
This stuff? Are these the security? Like, no, these are just,
I don't know.
I don't know. It's not Torx.
Yeah, see, there's Torx, and then there's whatever this says. Maybe this is like VW stuff or something. I don't know.
Oh, then we got the Torx with the hole in the center.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, that's.
Most of these tools are for show anyway. You probably won't ever use them.
My 1M's torn apart out there.
I'm just playing.
We got more over here. You know,
jeez.
Hammers. And then impact. And then we got some, you know.
Ooh, that's nice. Stuff. All the clutter on top of the cabinets.
Look at that, man. I'm like a real car guy. Look at that thing. There's no bumper on it.
There's an under tray here. There's a bumper there. You got a car in your parking lot with no bumper.
Like dirt and filth all over the place.
Yeah.
Look, there's even an oil spot there.
Look at this. Jeez, man.
That's pollen.
Pulling it up. Which way? I thought it'd be cool to come out here and do the exhaust with Matt. Just because Matt obviously has done exhausts on GT3s quite a bit.
Yeah, it'd be fun.
And cool opportunity to see the headquarters out here.
You need help with the exhaust. I mean, how many exhausts have you done?
Yeah.
45 in the last 6 months?
Yeah, and usually we got Alberto cutting stuff up and welding stuff. This should hopefully be a bolt-on affair.
Yeah.
But it's cool to get to see new headquarters. So we got my frunk up.
It's so clean, dude. So nice. It's part of the reason why we want to keep it this nice. And so that's part of the reason why I think doing catted is a lot smarter, because otherwise this is all going to turn yellow.
So he just spilled the beans. We are not doing a catless exhaust on this car. Mainly, did I bring your plate out here? Matt's car, just constantly covered in dirt, constantly all yellow and stuff from the catless system on his car. And according to Dundon, I won't really notice much difference with sound. I won't really notice much difference with power. So I figured I'd give it a shot, even though I'm so used to
and worst
catless.
case, you can always yank the cats off in an hour.
Yeah, no, it's just a replaceable section. So
you know, one of the things with these cars I was so nervous about, like, and I don't know why I didn't really consider this because of the race heritage, but when I first got one, I'm like, I'm not going to do my own maintenance. I'm not going to be able to change the oil. I'm going to have to go to the dealer. When I found out these cars are way easier to work on than any other car, you'll see that when we take the bumper off and we put it back on, everything just snaps together. There's no lining. Everything's just perfect.
Just because it's a race car, it's got to be easy to fix.
Yeah, true. And plus, they've been building
serviceability
for 2 years, so yeah, it's really nice how quickly and easily this thing will come apart and go back together, and it should be pretty much the same as the other ones. Mine's older, but the new one should be the same.
Let's see how many times I drop a screwdriver on the paint.
These are jack pads, because on a scissor lift you can't just...
Oh, so those like screw into the car?
I gotta find the right spot, yeah. So, see this?
Yeah.
It's the same size as the Porsche hole, and then you turn it, and it just sits in there, and just hangs.
It's pretty cool.
So now we have a nice, clean jack point.
It's a fancy control unit. We good? So weird. What was the purpose of going with the scissor lift over a 2-post? Just to have more room around it?
Yeah, detailing. I mean, because I do more detailing than anything.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, look, I can sit on a stool anywhere around the car. It doesn't take up any space. Easier to install.
Yeah.
So
it's pretty cool.
I love scissor lifts. You'll see in a second. You can access the whole other side of the car.
How high are we going with it? Not too high because we got to take the taillights off, right?
Yeah. Gotta take the wheels off too. I don't have to, but it's a lot easier.
Yeah. How much higher do you want me to go?
Let's stay at that height for now.
Do you go down and then this is to the release right here?
You don't need to.
I'm pressing down and it's going up. What?
It has to go up and then go down.
Huh.
So it has to blow the locks.
That's scary. And it just does it again? What the heck? I'm gonna let you do your thing. Wrong size. I've never been so nervous using a screwdriver before.
Yeah, that is the one thing. But you'll see how easy these things come apart and go together. That's what's so cool about it.
Nice hardware. So we're basically removing the taillight and then the upper connections with the bumper right now.
Yep.
Is there just 2 bolts for the taillight or are there more?
Yep. And there's like a little tab that slides out. You just have to be careful not to scratch the rear bumper. No PPF back here.
Just remember, Matt, you're more clumsy when I'm around, so be extra careful.
Yeah.
I missed it. Lightweight taillights or what?
Definitely. I hate Molex plugs.
Do you want me to do it with one hand? That's it?
Yep.
These are heavier than I thought. You know what's really funny, Matt?
You didn't get the lightweight option?
With how hot these taillights are, I can only imagine how hot the actual exhaust is on the car.
We're gonna have to go get something to eat. We should have washed the car first.
It's alright. Rumor has it you need a very, very, very large torque wrench to remove and install the center locks.
Yeah, I want to get the new Sonic one. I have a not so pretty one, but yeah.
Was it some junk brand like Snap-on?
It's not. I wish. No,
So
it's like Precision Instruments from Amazon. You pop that, and then there's a pin. And so see how that pushes the pin in.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
That thing is no joke.
The rear's easy. The pull the e-brake. The rear's easy. The front is a little sketchy because of the mirror. Maybe I can. Yeah.
What would you do if you didn't push down?
Pull up. Pull that way.
Isn't that harder?
Well, depends. Sometimes they're too tight. Sometimes you can't generate enough force. Need this, but
it's pretty cool. That's weird. It's like you've taken wheels off a Porsche before, huh?
Yeah. You know, it's kind of scary, like for if you've never done it, but it's actually way easier than a normal wheel, as long as you have the right stuff.
Yeah.
Jeez. This car is so awesome. Look at the carbon fiber. There's a carbon fiber sway bar on the thing. If
you guys remember my conversation with the Porsche salesman talking about coilovers, it is pretty cool. These cars come from the factory with adjustable coilovers. So you could just lower the factory suspension if you wanted. Just like a standard coilover. These are, right here, you can see my carbon fiber sway bar that Matt's always geeking out about. There are a few more torques in here in the actual fender liner, a couple underneath. Are you ready to pull? No, I was just telling them, Matt. I'm just trying to keep them in the loop. No.
I got all these.
Were you ready to pull her off?
Yeah.
All right, let me put my camera down. Now we were gonna take the car to the Porsche dealership to have them do the install, but they quoted us 30 grand just for rear bumper removal, so we decided against that. All right, show me the way.
Pull.
Which way?
That way. Should just pop right out.
You took your screw off up here, right?
Maybe not.
No, you missed one.
Shoot.
Where's the screwdriver?
What am I gonna do with it? Now there's gonna be a wire for the plate light somewhere.
On this side? There's a wire here. Should I unplug it? You ready to come on?
No, it had to come off.
Sure.
Yeah, because otherwise you're going to take all this wiring apart.
So how are we putting this on so it doesn't get damaged?
It's got plastic on the bottom, so it's going to just sit right on the switch. I got it.
Okay. So there we have a naked GT3RS. Interesting. We got side mufflers, we got a center muffler, got another side muffler. I feel like instinct would tell you that this would be a very difficult car to do headers on, but because it's rear engine, look at how simple it is to get at that flange in there. Probably the easiest car I'll ever do headers on in my life. So cool.
That's not the yeah, they cleaned it up a little bit from mine.
Pretty cool.
Looks a little nicer than I have like the first one.
Dundon Motorsports, loud. That's what I'm talking about.
Look through there. It's basically just it's a straight pipe, yo. I fucking hate that term, straight pipe. Ridiculous.
So what are the upper sections? Is that like the where when it bypasses, it forces it through the muffler?
Yeah. So valves, you know, the valves, so that it'll send the exhaust through the top when the valves are closed.
That's pretty cool. So
keep it from droning.
That's pretty cool that we'll be able to retain the stock like valve system in the sense that we can kind of have like the muffler do something.
You have to on this car. I've tried, but there's just no way around it. You have to have valves, otherwise it drones.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of people say that you need the valves. You'll lose horsepower. Use back pressure. I've tested it on a dyno. You don't. It's just it doesn't sound good. It drones. So we need that valve transition. But the stock is like this really pronounced from open to closed. This will still be pronounced, but not nearly. It's more, there's a smoother transition from closed to open.
Gotcha.
I wish we could just get rid of them, but.
I'm excited for the startup. Does your car make all the cool pops when it starts like mine does?
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah. I wish I could rev it.
Mine let me rev it today to 8,500.
Yeah, but not just stationary. You have to be rolling. If you're rolling, you can pull the paddles and rev it, but if you're not, then you can't. All right, let's open the other. headers. James Bopp, who you've been talking to, Jamie Bopp, partnered with, I don't know where he met Charles Dundon, but Charles is like this savant. He's this dude who, I've talked to him on the phone. Anytime you talk to him on the phone, it's a good hour-long conversation of just knowledge dump. It's amazing.
And when he makes these headers in his
So
garage?
he was making stuff for Porsches forever, and I guess him and Jamie partnered up and they started a company called Dundon Motorsports. And that's pretty cool, actually. You got the real flex bed hat. You listen to me. This is good.
I got the Matt Mormon hat on now. Look at my tips. 4.875 inch.
Oh yeah, I thought they were 4. They're almost 5.
4.875.
So I found out about them on my. I was 13 exhausts in. Right, I tried Sharkware, GFG.
Matt is not exaggerating. He literally had tried 13 exhausts on his GT3.
I tried valves disconnected, valves connected. I went to Titan about 5 times, different dyno tests. Then I started working with FBD Brombacher out of South Florida, with an M&M in Germany, to try to come up with a non-valve exhaust system. This was in 2014 and 15. Oh yeah, here's the cap. So this is what replaces that giant side muffler.
Cool. Here's my
And
tips.
Yeah, I know what you're saying. All AccuSeal connections.
Yeah, these exhausts are not cheap.
Yeah, I mean we're 10 grand for the setup. But, and it, you know, the guy's making them in a jig in his garage in the Dundon facility.
Is it a facility or is it a garage? Because it's two different
It's a
things.
garage like this.
Okay.
You know, a little bigger than this. I think he is like 3,500 square feet, something like that, 4,000 square feet. There's the header.
These are light.
The stock ones are light too, so nobody thinks that. Oh yeah, they're getting, you know, the finish is getting nicer.
That was, he was giving me a disclaimer telling me to not expect the prettiest finish in the world.
Yeah, well they're not. I mean, these are handmade.
Check out the way that these flanges have to be made. That's funky, huh?
Yep.
Look at that. Yeah, dude, this is really nice quality.
Yeah.
I don't know what you're talking about, my guy.
Didn't say it was bad.
Matt was like,
I just said that you don't expect it to be like IPE or Army Tricks or some other bullcrap exhaust where they're making it in Taiwan with a fancy machine.
nothing I hate more than like literally anytime anyone ever gets an exotic car, they're like, oh my god, you need to get an Army Tricks exhaust because it makes all the pops in flames. Triggered.
Yeah, you can get me fired up.
Yeah, tell me about
start
it.
yelling.
I'm on the same page with you, my guy.
No. You want to be YouTube famous? Get IPE. You want to get an exhaust that actually
No,
makes
it's
an power
the
works.
Army Tricks is what all the clickbaiters use.
They're made by the same company.
Are they?
Yeah. FI, Army Tricks, they're all made by the same marketing company.
In Taiwan?
Yeah. Marketing first, exhaust second.
Now Dundon is exhaust first,
Boom.
marketing second.
There's our valve transition.
Alright, here's a disclaimer, guys, just so you can see. This is what I'm filming with, right? I got this little camera. And then look at Matt's production team over here. I don't even know what this is. And
Dude, I got dual mics, testing it out. Check this out. I can come back. 1, 2, and 1, 2, 3. Boom. Sort of on my face, but a little wonky.
it's the future of vlogging right there.
Yeah, but this way, wait till you feel how heavy this thing is. Look, I'm gonna get my biceps jacked carrying this thing around. The problem with these Sonys is they shake so much. I think I'm gonna love
Usually if we were doing things right, we'd be replacing these with new gaskets, but this is good enough garage.
You don't need to replace these.
I mean,
There's no reason to.
Well, I mean, the multi-layer ones do get worn out, but you can reuse them, you're right.
We have 500 miles in the car, for gosh sakes.
You're not wrong.
We'll
But
be
still,
we'll be just
a lot of
fine.
times they get crushed, and then when you go to use them again, they don't seal as well.
So there's the hole. That's where all the magic happens right there.
I'm wiping all the oil off my gasket.
Uh-oh. I'm gonna get a leak.
Yep.
You got some crappy Porsche. You need a catch can for your exhaust. You might as well leave that off because you got to get the header lined up first.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
Yeah, as usual.
It's pretty impressive with like kind of how complex the system is in terms of how the headers have to be and the cats and the center exhaust. Like for someone to fab this up to be a universal fit for one of these cars, like.
This has been a very interesting assortment of Legos where we're just trying to put everything together loosely just to make sure everything fits, and then we'll tighten it all down after.
So you might be thinking it's a little weird that I'm using a torque wrench. Since I don't really use them on anything, you think, oh, Matt's being a good influence on Adam. You know, he's got Adam using a torque wrench. No. Matt was like, we don't need no torque wrench.
Two ugga duggas.
Don't worry about this thing. I'm like, Matt, this is a 991.2 GT3RS. We should probably read the manufacturer's torque spec because we don't want to lose any of our performance gains with the improper torque reading on these bolts.
Yeah, you'll lose at least 5 horsepower if you were too tight here.
I read on the forums, if you go a little bit too tight, you start having a drop off because the flange gets closer to the actual head and it creates more restriction. And we want to have the best flow we possibly can, Matt.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, all this stuff I read on the forums.
Yeah.
So we're pretty much done with the install. Everything went together actually very nicely. Pretty crazy to think that all this was put together on a jig and made to just bolt up to a car, but there's a lot of room for adjustments and clocking those clamps and stuff. Even the tips in the center you can adjust up and down, side to side. So right now I'm going to pull the tips off and we're going to start the car with it in the air so we can check for any leaks or anything before we go put the bumper on, just in case any adjustments need to be made.
We're just going to wipe our fingerprints off.
As suggested by Matt, I picked up some Renline tow hooks that just basically bolt to a factory location. So that way when I'm tying the car down, I don't have to use the wheels since there aren't really any good tie down points on the car. So now I just have these nice little tie down points to use. About to start it up and check for leaks, but Matt's doing this weird thing where he cleans the exhaust before he starts it. Why do you do that? No one's ever gonna see it. It's just like under your Swiss tracks. Why bother cleaning it? No one's ever gonna see it.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh.
If you want my big fingerprints all over your exhaust for internal.
If you guys remember me talking about scraping my front lip, this is my big gouge right here. How often do you scrape your front lip? Okay, I thought you were gonna be like never and make me feel like a scrub. I had the attitude driving this car. I was like, man, I drive lowered cars all the time. This is a factory car, it won't be low.
Yeah,
I don't have to worry about it.
Too.
I know. And I wasn't using it. I was like, oh, I don't need that.
Yeah.
What are you cleaning it with?
I normally use WD-40.
Really?
Yeah, actually works really well.
It gives it a nice smell when you start too. It's exciting. It's still light out. Might be able to drive it outside. Put a GoPro on or something. You ready? Yeah. I didn't zip tie the vacuum lines on yet, so I'll have to do that after. That's pretty loud. Dang. That sounds sick. A good exhaust note is so important to me. So much so that I haven't even been driving the car that much, just because like it sounds boring stock. I don't know. Having like that bright note makes all the difference in the world to me for like enjoying driving a car around. Oh, I'm so excited to drive it now. Oh, it's gonna sound sick.
Yeah, that's it. It's gonna be alright.
Alright, hurry.
Yeah.
Alright.
Put it.
So here's a nice look at everything now that the bumper's all in. It's pretty cool. You can see everything through the wheel well. Looks real nice. Now we're almost ready to put it back on. Get it out on the road. Also went ahead and attached some front tow hooks as well. They just have like these little plates that like kind of tucked up in there. I tightened on these bolts so I can use these as tie downs in addition to the rear ones. So compared to the stock system that we took off, as you can see right here, the new Dundon setup actually saves 20 pounds. And on top of that, I think it's about 40 foot-pounds of torque gains and 30 wheel horsepower at around 8,500 RPM. Peak gains are a little bit less, more I think in the higher teens, but that doesn't really matter because the mid-range really opens up on this car. And they do have some intake stuff being developed right now that will give even more of a gain, because that is the restricting factor on these. But I don't think it's impossible to be seeing 500 wheel or more once they have their intake setup done. Right now I think this should be somewhere around 480. Doesn't sound like a lot, but in these cars it's fast. I don't have any exhaust clips yet, but we're about to go out, probably go for a little drive. I'll set up like a little GoPro camera, maybe get some outside shots real quick. I'll go have some fun, maybe stop over Matt's, do some car washes.
We got IP, bro.
Yeah, dude, should have gone Army tricks, honestly.
Oh, or
Yeah, dude, same thing.
all three of them.
Yeah, show how they're all the same. I'm gonna go on a little obsessed garage shopping spree right now because my collection at home is low.
You want to the rest of this place?
I just am grabbing the stuff that I already know. He's gonna, ooh, I don't know, should I be using the Obsessed Garage soap or the Adams soap?
You don't need that.
I don't need it?
For decontamination.
Oh, okay. All stocked up on the best detailing supplies. Now we get to go rip around and hear the new exhaust sounds.
Sounds aggressive. We've established Matt's is much more noisy than mine, catless. Your tips look different too.
Yeah, I got the flat, or mine are the thin wall.
Matt purposely told Dundon to give me the catted ones because he didn't want my car to be as loud as his.
Yep.
Hey, we could trade since you don't want the soot and I want the loudness.
Look how yellow mine is.
What you got, old man? No, we won't. This is the perfect level of loudness where I can feel it, I can hear it, but it's not too obnoxious, and I can still press the valve and make it a little bit even quieter. I'm stoked. But I do have to say there's a very good chance that probably police officers in the 3 or 4 towns that we drove through probably have a warrant searching for 2 very, very loud Porsches with large wings and weird-looking drivers.
They don't see much of them around these parts.
Yeah, let me tell you, this man over here, he may look all humble and tame, but when you put him behind the wheel, oh boy, you don't want to be in the car with him. Let me just tell you.
I thought I was going too slow for you.
Oh my gosh. Woo! I didn't lose my GoPro, that's impressive. You know, when you're going the speed limit, it's very easy to lose a GoPro. Well, that drive was definitely the most fun that I've had with this car in the entire time I've owned it. But I do have to say there's a very good chance that probably police officers in the 3 or 4 towns that we drove through probably have a warrant out searching for 2 very, very loud Porsches with large wings and weird looking drivers.
They don't see much of them around these parts.
Yeah, let me tell you, this man over here, he may look all humble and tame, but when you put him behind the wheel, oh boy, you don't want to be in the car with him. Let me just tell you. That was fun.
I was going too slow for you.
Oh my gosh. Woo! I didn't lose my GoPro. That's impressive. You know, when you're going the speed limit, it's very easy to lose a GoPro. Alright, so just for reference, Matt's car has the identical setup for exhaust, except obviously his car's a 991.1, mine's a 991.2, so it's slightly different variances with engine, but the main difference is his car's catless, my car isn't. So, I'm going to set the camera up. Hey kitty! Hey kitty! What's it doing? Meow. What is it doing? What is it doing? Oh, did you just bark at me? Alright, so we're gonna do side-by-side startup kit. Now we're back where it all started. Matt's house, the old OG headquarters, in his own beautiful wash bay. And we're gonna give this thing the first wash since it got all detailed and everything. I've been a little bit too nervous to mess up anything with it, but he's got an awesome setup out here. Boom pole and everything. This guy does not look friendly. Funny, I was mentioning to Matt how on the drive home the car was kicking out a little bit on the corners, which had never happened before because it's pretty much a car you can drive flat out all the time. Matt thinks that extra 40 foot-pounds of torque is enough to kick it out. I guess it makes sense.
Definitely.
What's that?
Rio's interior scent.
You just sprayed all in one spot?
Yep.
What smell is it?
Leather, fine leather.
You better not be kidding. Okay, it does smell like a new car. I'm okay with it.
I like it. It goes away in like a day, but...
Looks sick. This is just a basic wash with bead maker. That's kind of like a topper. Car is corrected so well that it looks amazing. So I think that about sums up this video. It is super, super late. It was a little closer to an hour drive versus the hour and a half drive out there, but I had a blast ripping back with the car. Perfect exhaust note. I'm very happy. I know that I'd heard Dundons before, like in the Smoky Mountains, and I knew that I liked them, but I hadn't heard them on a 991.2, and I'm very, very stoked on how it sounds, how everything went together, and I hope you guys are too. So anyway, I don't know what's going on tomorrow. I don't really have plans, which is weird for once. So who knows? Knowing me, we'll get into something fun. But anyway, I want to thank you guys for watching, and I hope you're as excited as I am. Okay, bye.